Live.
Oh, it says live.
I'm checking the live stream.
Yeah, you go check that. I'm gonna get a beer.
Oh, it looks like it's starting. I'm checking the live stream. Now I'm listening to myself,
I'm gonna get a beer.
and you're talking to me. Except it looks like it's mirrored. Oh, it looks like it's starting. Checking the live stream. Now I'm listening to myself, and you're talking.
Is it working?
Except it looks like it's mirrored. Oh, it looks like it's starting. Nope, it's not mirrored. I'm mirrored. Oh, that's gonna be a nightmare to listen to whatever. Okay, good. We're good. We're live.
Sweet.
Hey, welcome to the shoe. This is episode 2 of season 3 of Home by 8, Drunk by 10.
Perfect. Nailed it.
We'd like to apologize up front for the video, audio, and content quality.
Yep.
Cheers.
Sorry about that. It's not going to get any better. Cheers.
What was I going to say? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I gotta put this away because I can't look over here and see everything that just happened again.
It's like that gun, or is it a gun? I don't know. That thing that like shoots your voice back at you slightly behind, and it, like you can't talk. Have you seen that thing?
I don't remember where, but yes.
Yeah, I saw some YouTube video about it. It's funny.
I don't know. Anyway, okay, so this episode is you watched. Tell the folks at home what happened. It's in the title, but.
Yeah. So I watched Miller's Crossing 5 days in a row.
Yeah, way to go. I watched it once.
So yeah, when you watched it, how many days ago?
I don't know. I watched it on Tuesday, maybe. Monday. I don't know. It was like, I think the second time you watched it.
So 3 days ago, 4 days ago, whatever. Well, so my question is, I know the name of every character.
Uh-huh.
Am I going to have to describe them because you don't know who is who? I realized that about halfway through the third time I watched it, I realized I was like, crap, he's not going to know who I'm talking about because he's only going to watch it once. And there's like, I don't know, there's probably like, I don't know, maybe there's not that many characters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I assume like you don't know who is who.
You're probably right. There are several people I'm unsure of, but most of them I at least know who they are, not necessarily their name. But I was going to ask, how are we going to do this? Am I going to tell you my opinion and then you tell me how I'm wrong or right? Because
I wondered that too. I guess before we actually get into the movie, well, first of all, I'm not going to explain the plot of this movie. I don't think we should ever do that. It's like, this is the movie we watched. Go watch it yourself. Deal with it.
Yeah. I mean,
but,
most basic recap is possible, but yeah.
I mean, I guess I could try and do that.
I mean, you did watch it 5 times. You should know pretty well what happened.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't look at the Wikipedia page. I didn't look up I looked up nothing about the movie at all.
I looked up only one thing, but yeah, I didn't really look up anything else.
I didn't want anything to like taint my 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 opinion or whatever. So yeah, I looked up nothing about the movie at all.
The only thing I looked up, as I said, was the name of a character, just because I wasn't sure what the person said. And
yeah.
I wanted to make a note.
I'm curious which one that is, because I have, I think, 2 or 3 of those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Is it better if I talk about it and then you do? I think I think the first person that watched it once should.
I think so too.
I think you should, because I know, like I've fucking watched the movie 5 times.
Yep.
So yeah, go. Well, do you want me to recap the movie and then you go?
No, you can recap later.
All right, go.
So you introduced. So the way that I came to know about this movie to begin with, I think, was Doug Love's movies. I think they were talking about it or something, and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And then you said you were going to do this, and I was like, oh, great. And then you said you watched it in high school, and you really liked it, and I thought, sweet. And then I watched it, and I hated this movie. I don't want to say I hated it. I did not like it. And and I told you I didn't want to, when I sent you a message, I didn't want to spoil whether or not I would be interested in watching this movie again. The answer is I am not. I don't really, I mean, I'm not against it, but it's not a movie that I want to go back to. I feel like if I did, I might enjoy it more, but I just don't really want to. I don't want to go back to it. And, I don't know. There was a lot I didn't like about it, and there was little that I did like.
So let's say what did you like about it?
I liked some of the actors playing characters. Like I thought, what's his name? Steve Buscemi, of course. I like Steve Buscemi in pretty much everything he does.
So he's in the movie for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But he's good in the one scene he's in. He is good.
He was.
Sure.
And the guy, I don't remember his name, which is shocker, right?
Describe him.
It took me a real long time to come up with Buscemi's name, and the only reason I did come up with it was because of that game Doug played on Doug Love's Movies. Now Buscemi, now you don't. And I was like, I know who it is. I could not think of his name for a while, and I came up with it. But the other guy, the guy who plays the lead, I wouldn't call her heroine. I'd call her the dame. Her brother.
The lady. Yeah, I don't know her name either.
It's Aubrey.
But you liked her?
No.
Oh,
her brother.
Oh yeah. That's John Turturro.
Okay.
Yeah. Him.
Yeah, I know that name. I just wasn't sure that it was him. Yeah, he was real good, especially that first scene when he shows up in the chair when he comes home. I thought that scene was awesome.
Yeah.
And the whole scene in the woods, he did real well with that, I thought.
Yep.
I thought that was very impressive, and so, but I've got problems with that scene, and it's so much more. But as far as the movie goes, that's
what you liked. John Turturro and Steve Buscemi.
And there was a scene
who would probably combine in that movie less than 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe slightly more, but yeah, about 5 minutes. I liked the scene where they went to.
The scene where they walk out in the woods is pretty long, so maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah. The scene where they go to some shop, like all the police are outside, they go to some store and like throw dynamite through the window and blow it up, and then it's like, if anybody's still alive. Like the very beginning of that scene was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But then it got into one of my big problems with this movie is that it was. Are we ready for things I didn't like?
No, yeah. Like, have you gone through everything you did like?
I think so.
Is there anything else? I'm just curious.
I think that was about it.
All right. Yeah. Get into what you didn't like.
So one of the parts of that, and overall the movie, it's like it was very surrealistic at times.
Mm-hmm.
I dislike that because so much of the rest of it was not, you know?
Yep.
And I don't know if they were going for like some David Lynch, like Twin Peaks kind of thing, but like most of the surrealism was so unnecessary and so like I felt tacked on to scenes all the time. That it just.
Like, do you have an example? Like, just an example of what you're talking about?
Okay, so when the main guy went to the one guy's.
Tom. Well, in the movie, his name is Tom. I have no idea what the actor's name is.
Sure, Tom. Tom went to the. He went to one guy's office.
The Irish guy or the Italian guy?
Not the Italian guy.
The Irish guy's name is Leo.
I think it was, yeah. So I think he went to Leo's office, and then like he's sitting there talking to him, and then there's the twins.
Nope, that's the Italian guy. Those are his cousins.
But okay, he's not the Italian guy. There's the Italian guy that's like he's in the warehouse and he's married with the kids. Is it his office?
It's not his office. It's the
mayor's office.
The mayor's office, but it's the Italian guy.
Okay, yeah. It was definitely not his. So
yeah, you're right. It's not his office, but it's his cousins. And him, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, that is the most bullshit thing they could have done in this scene, and it didn't add anything beneficial to it.
Yep.
And just shit like that, like the whole scene where, like when maybe it's
there's multiple scenes with him that they do that.
Yeah, and like I mean maybe it's some sort of artsy, wonderful thing that I just don't get, and that's fine. I don't fucking get it. I don't like it. I am not generally a fan of surrealistic movies like that anyway. Like unless it goes so far out, like a movie like Clockwork Orange, I thought, that movie is really good.
Okay. Yeah.
Or even like Twin Peaks. I mean, Twin Peaks. I never.
Twin Peaks is full of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I never ever thought I would like that show, and I've watched it and fucking loved it. I mean,
it's a little bit different. You're right. Like the way Lynch does that kind of stuff is different, but
yeah. Like it adds so much to it, and it like
yes,
it adds
with the Coen brothers for sure. Like there's a scene in Fargo that they also directed and wrote.
I really liked Fargo when I watched that movie too.
Well, but there's a scene in Fargo where the lady, I forget her name, the cop, was trying to figure out the case. She goes to a bar or something, and this. I forget if he's like a high school friend or a college friend, and it's just the two of them having this conversation for like 5 minutes, and then he just kind of like he's like, oh okay, and he leaves. That's it. Like it has nothing to do with the story at all. They are just like catching up with each other at a bar.
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do with the story. He never comes back into the story. It's like it's around the middle of the story, like and it's just like what? Why? That was like 5 minutes of the movie, and he shows up, talks to her about nothing, and then just leaves.
See, the way you describe it, I don't remember the scene particularly. I remember watching it, and I really liked that movie, but the way you describe it to me sounds like it's a it's a part of real life to that person. You know what I mean?
Sure.
but the way
which
that
I think they were trying to do with bringing in his cousins, saying like, oh, you know, my cousins, you do, because in that scene they talk about how for Leo, the Irish guy, they've got a bunch of Irish people in all kinds of positions that they don't deserve. Why can't you do it for my two cousins?
yeah, but it was not like, to me, it's not like, it's not a glimpse into someone's daily life in the way that right. It's a farcical appearance in the fact that they're being twins. First of all, they're twins. They're sitting there mostly motionless, looking like it's so surrealistic. It's so disjointed and out of place, and that's my problem with a lot of the movie. A lot of that stuff is so disjointed and out of place and not real. It's not grounded in any sort of reality that the rest of the movie wants it to be, or it feels like it's projecting. Right. Mm-hmm. So from the beginning, one of the first thing that put me off of the movie before any of that surrealistic stuff was that the characters were really oversimplified caricatures of, oh, this is the Italian guy, this is the Irish guy, this is the guy, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And I was just like, it's kind of really drawn with a real limited paint palette, right, is what I felt to begin with. And, I mean, of course, because we're doing this podcast, I'm being way overcritical. You know, if we weren't, I don't know if I would have even finished the movie. I definitely would have paid less attention, just because, but... just because I wasn't enjoying it, but it just, first off, the characters were really boring to me, real simplified, real.
Sure.
I mean, it's supposed to be, you know, you know, it's supposed to be set in a time where, you know, you've got like the Untouchables or Chinatown or something in that vein, but the characters are just not deep. They're supposed to be. You know, oh, he's got a gambling problem, blah, blah, blah. But it just felt real lame. And then, like, everybody was really ugly. Like,
yeah.
I just, like, especially the girl that everybody's kind of going after or whatever. I thought every time she was supposed to be sexy, I was just real turned off. And, I mean, maybe that's the whole point of it. It's just, it didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, no, I understand. I know what you mean. I felt some similar things for sure.
Oh, and the other surrealistic pair was the mayor and his buddy.
Yeah. And
they reminded me of those guys that hang out on the balcony in the Muppet Show.
The Muppets? Yes, I didn't write it down, but I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, what are those guys? Waldorf and something?
Yeah, like
Statler and Waldorf, I think. Yeah. I thought the same thing.
And two more things.
I think that the twins, I think there's a bunch of scenes in this movie that exist because they thought, I think the Coens thought, this will look cool. And I think the twins are sitting on the couch, like, I think they just thought, like, this will be a cool
visual.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
There's a ton of that.
The hallway fight, right?
Yeah. Like walking down the hall. Like, yeah, like there's a bunch of scenes where I think, like,
with a bunch of dudes standing on both sides, and I was just so like, what in the fuck are you doing?
I mean, there's kind of a justification for it, but yeah, I think there's a ton of scenes in this movie that are just like, this will look cool on in a theater. So let's throw it in, and I think the twins are part of that.
Sure.
But yeah.
I totally. Yes, I know, and it didn't work for me.
Sure, I understand.
Also, the dialogue was really, really dense, and it had a lot of period appropriate grammar. Maybe I don't even know if all of it was.
I don't know either. There's a lot of like
dime store novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm like in my notes that I wrote down. I was like, I don't know what this means.
I just remembered I did look up one other thing. I looked up what the hell fucking give me the hi-hat meant.
I never looked that up because like it's only that one guy. Like I don't know if you noticed, he's the only one that ever says it.
He fucking says it all the damn time.
But yes, he says it constantly.
Yeah.
What does it mean? I never looked it up.
It's like don't fuck me over or something like that.
I kind of
You could get that from it, but
yeah,
I was
you
just
get
like,
it from the context of the movie. Like I figured, like okay, I get it. But like yeah, like I've never heard that.
That's why I looked it up. I wanted to make sure that I actually understood it. But yeah, it's I don't remember. I didn't find out exactly where it comes from, the etymology or anything. But yeah, it just means that. Don't shaft me. And then the other thing I looked up was the mink.
Mink, isn't that just his name?
It's the name of what's his name? Now you see me, now you don't. What the fuck did I say earlier?
Yeah, it's Buscemi's character.
That's his character's name. Because when they said about spoilers, they said about the body out in the field.
Yeah.
Said I thought somebody said who Mick? It's Mick, and I was like, who the fuck's Mick?
Oh, okay. So that's the confusion you had was Mink and Mick.
Yeah. So I had to look it up. I was like, who's Mick? Because I had no idea who they were talking about. Why the dude was upset or whatever. But it was the mink, and so that's the guy. That's the fucking what's his name? Buscemi, yeah. So and then I was like, okay, so I understand who that character is, but why anybody cared about him necessarily, I don't really know. And then my big question is at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Him and the mayor, or him and Leo.
No, it's Leo.
Him and Leo are talking.
Is Leo, Tom, and Verna are at the funeral for Bernie.
Verna's the chick.
Verna's the girl, the woman. Bernie is her brother that they're burying, and they're all at the where he's being buried. Yeah. So the final part is just Tom and Leo.
Right. And then like Leo walks off, and Tom leans up next to a tree with his hat down.
Yep.
And he lifts his face up.
Yep.
And it's not him, right?
Yeah, it's still Tom.
Are you sure?
Yep.
He looks different.
So yeah, I made notes about that part too. But yeah, it's still the same actor. I forget his name.
They hold on it for a while, like they're doing a cut to another face or something. So I thought somehow did they change, and why did they change? And
no, it's still him. I think so. Yeah, I'll get into it when I talk, I guess. But no, I made a couple notes about that.
But I think I'm done with my review.
So you should we do like a thumbs up, thumbs down out of 5? Like what do you think?
No, I won't give it 2 thumbs down. I'll give it
I feel like we should at least give some kind of score.
I can't use noble gases. I don't know. We'll come up with that at the end.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Go ahead, your turn.
So how long have we been going? This is going to be a long episode, apparently.
I don't know.
So yeah, like I said, I picked this because I watched it in high school and really liked it. If you had asked me, I would have said, yeah, definitely Miller's Crossing, great movie. And then I realized, yeah, no, I don't actually know anything about it. After watching it the first time, I was like, what the fuck? I liked this movie. I was like, how in the hell did I think this was a great movie? Like, I didn't dislike it. after watching it one time, I was like, I still, at the end of watching it once, like this first time, I was like, oh, all right, yeah. I thought that was okay. But I was like, how on earth did I like this as a high school kid? Like, there's absolutely no way I followed that story at all. Because like the second time I watched it, that opening scene is impossible to understand. Like it's four dudes talking about, like, unintroduced at all. You come in the middle of a conversation about someone that you don't see for like another half an hour, and no one is introduced at all. Like, who is this guy? Who is, like, clearly it's like, okay, this is like some kind of mobster guy. This is another mobster guy. And like, that's the only context you have. But yeah, like the first time I watched that scene, I was like, I have no idea. I can't keep track of these names, these people. I cannot do it. But yeah, as I watched it over and over and over and over and over, is that 5? Over again?
Probably.
Yeah, that first scene it went from almost incomprehensible to like, wow, this scene is super tense. Because like I knew who they were talking about and I knew where it was going. So like it went from like, I don't know, who is this? That Italian guy is unbelievably hard to watch. That never changed. That guy, his name is, in the movie, his name is Johnny Casper, the bald Italian dude. He's so hard to watch.
The bald
Everything.
I thought there was like a greasy Italian dude with like one of those terrible mustaches.
Yeah, he's got like the pencil mustache.
Yeah. Is that who you're talking about?
That's what he sounds like in every scene.
Yeah.
It reminds me in Punch-Out of King Hippo.
Sure.
That guy, he's awful. Like, he's from like a different movie. Like, to me.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, like everyone, all the characters seemed okay. He just seemed like he was from a different movie. But yeah, as I watched, that opening scene became like more tense because I realized like there's actually a lot of subtlety in what's going on in that first scene.
Sure.
Like I didn't notice it until like the third or fourth time, but like immediately in that scene, so Tom, the main character, is surprised at the reaction of Leo, the Irish boss guy. Sure. Because I guess he doesn't seem to notice or doesn't seem to realize that Leo is involved with the lady yet. But so it seems like they hint at that first scene that Tom suspects the Dane. Do you know who you never mentioned him?
No, Dane, yeah, I liked him.
So he's behind like everything. Like, so the movie is about, so I guess I'll give a super quick, too easy rundown. So the Irish dude and the Italian dude, the Irish dude is the top of this city. It's never said where this takes place.
It's Miller's Crossing.
Yeah, Miller's Crossing, wherever that is.
Millersville.
Apparently it's next to Springfield. But yeah, so the Irish guy is like the top mob boss. Italian guy is trying to take over. The Italian guy's got this other, his like top guy is this guy called the Dane. And he is the one I think he's the one that's feeding the. So it's about like gambling. He's angry that the Italian guy's angry that he bets on a fight and then the odds go off because someone's given information to everyone else and he loses money on his fixed fights.
Sure.
So his like top guy is the one that's feeding information. He's feeding information to Mink, who is giving information to Bernie. Do you know any of these people's names?
Sure. Mink, Steve Buscemi, and Bernie's John Turturro.
Yep. So yeah, they're giving information down the line. So the Italian guy, Casper, he wants to kill Bernie. Bernie is Verna's brother.
Yes.
She is hooking up with Leo, the Irish guy, and the Irish guy's top guy. So it's a weird love triangle, gambling triangle thing. It all gets fucked up, and everybody dies in the end. Well, a bunch of people die in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Dane, I think, is the ultimate bad guy in the movie, and Tom suspects it from like the beginning of the movie. I think that first scene, he seems to think that the Dane is the one that's causing all the problems. But yeah, they don't. Let's see. I'm trying to look at my notes. I did them by day, and they're mostly like a bunch of questions. They get less question-y and more like statement by the end. But yeah, well, this was one of the. Well, I guess this is probably racist. I don't know. I did not know that sheeny was a term for Jewish. That was real confusing. Because they use all kinds of terms for that Bernie character besides his name.
Okay.
And I could not figure out who they were talking about.
Sheeny, spelled S-H-E-E-N-E.
I assume. I don't know. That's how I wrote it down. But I assume that means Jewish. Because at the end of the movie, the one guy says, "Oh, they're planting the sheeny." At the end, so they're burying the Jewish guy. I assume that's when I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sheeny must mean Jewish." I've never heard that term before.
S-H-E-E-N-Y. I've never heard it either.
Yeah, they use it a bunch of times in the movie, referring to Bernie. They also use the term schmata. I don't know what that means. I never figured out what that meant. But it seems to be maybe another derogatory term for him. I don't know how to spell that one either. But
I've heard that one before.
You've heard? I'd never heard schmata before. I don't know what it means. It's probably offensive.
Yeah. Most likely. I don't know how to spell it though.
I wrote it down as S-C-H-M-A-T-A, but that doesn't mean that's how it's spelled.
Nope.
Probably doesn't. I also wrote down that every punch in this movie looks terrible.
Yes. Like
every they all look terrible.
Take one of these.
Yeah, the Danny Boy scene
Oh yeah,
pretty good. Every time I watch the movie, I was like, "Yep, this scene's still pretty good."
I do remember that one being good.
But there's no punch. Well, the only problem I had with that one was he's in his bed smoking a cigar, and somehow he's tipped off that someone is coming up the stairs because smoke is coming through the floor, and he's smoking a cigar in his bed. Like, there's no way. But yeah, let's see. What else did I say? Oh yeah, the other like name that I couldn't figure out. The guy that's dead in the alley, and there's that scene with the dog and the kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the names. That guy, I still do not know if his name is Rook or Rug or Rogue. Like, I have no fucking idea.
Because Rook.
Is it Rook with a K?
I think so.
Like yeah, I have no idea. I could never understand, like, what is that guy's name? Because like the Leo dude, it's the Irish boss guy. For a long time, the woman, her name is Verna, I think. But that guy, the Irish guy, he calls her Werner, like Werner Herzog. And I was like, what is this person's name? Is it Werner or Verna?
Yeah.
Because like the bartender, he says her name Verna like twice when Tom is hungover and throwing up, and he's like, "Who took my hat?" And he's like, "Mink and Verna." He's like, "Who?" He's like, "Verna and Mink." Like, and he clearly says it. I was like, okay, so the person's name is Verna, but that Irish dude, he says Werner every time. And yeah, impossible. What else did I notice? I think, well, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure Bernie and Mink, the Steve Buscemi characters, they're lovers.
Wow.
Yeah, I noticed it in the third time I watched it.
Do they ever actually share screen time?
No, never. They're never together ever. But
really?
Tom, the main character, he when he's talking to the Italian guy, he's like, so the Dane character is giving information to Mink, who's giving information to Bernie, and in that scene, Tom says that he's like, oh, I think he's giving information to Mink, who's giving it to Bernie, and he's like, and I think they're more than friends. Like, he says something about they're more than just friends, or it's more than business or whatever. And like, I don't know if you remember the scene with Buscemi. It ends with him like freaking out, right?
The scene at the party or the bar or wherever that was.
Yeah, it's at the Shenandoah.
Yep.
The Shenandoah Club. Yeah, so he has like a weird like, it seems like a normal conversation, but his reaction is like, holy shit, no, what? Like, he kind of freaks out. And it's because Tom also in that, I forget what he says, but he also implies again that Mink and Bernie are more than just business partners or friends or whatever. So And I forget the other. There's one other time.
I don't know. I didn't, of course, take it in anything other than they had some sort of underhanded business relationship.
Mm-hmm. There's one other. I forget. There's one other time where Tom says something to one of them that I could be wrong, but it seemed to imply to me that I was like, huh. I think they're lovers.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's something you only get by watching a movie 5 times.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get into that in a second. I'm just trying to point out other things I noticed as I watched. What else?
Oh, snap. So I was just checking your theory, and there's some website. It's called Frankly Curious, if anybody's interested. And third paragraph down, even with multiple viewings, Miller's Crossing has its problems. The homosexual relationship between Mink and the Dane is not very believable.
Mink and the Dane? Huh.
Huh. Indeed.
So I also wrote down Casper is not an Italian name, but that character is clearly Italian.
Yeah.
But on the 4th time I watched it, Leo says something about Giovanni Casparo.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, of course. Okay. His name's Johnny Casper, but his actual name is Giovanni Caspar. Because Leo's real name is Liam O'Bannon.
That makes sense.
His name isn't Leo, it's Liam.
Yeah.
But it took me 4 times before I noticed, oh, his name is not Johnny Casper, it's Giovanni Casparo. Got it. What else did I see? And we haven't actually talked about it, but hats show up in this movie fucking constantly. They cut away or start from hats. Like, hats are a huge thing in this movie, and I don't know. I never figured out what the hats actually meant, but like, yeah, a hat is a big deal in this movie.
Huh.
I never understood it. And Tom's, this is something you wouldn't notice unless you watched it a bunch of times. Tom's lip is cut or not cut. It seems almost random.
Weird.
Yeah, like it's really weird. He'll go into a scene where he got in a fight and someone will talk about, oh hey, you cut your lip, and then the scene will be like, another scene will happen later that day.
Yeah.
And his lip will look fine.
But
yeah,
in the
they mention it, the Dane, when the Dane picks Tom up to go look for the body. The Dane says, "What happened to your lip?" And I wrote it down. Where?
Oh, he said something like "I fell" or something.
No, it's good. Well, crap. Where is it? Oh yeah. So the Dane says, "What happened to your lip?" And Tom says, "It's an old war wound."
Oh, that's right.
Up around morons.
What'd you say?
It says it's an old war wound. It acts up around morons.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I do remember that line. Like, I remember thinking that was a good line.
Yup. I also wrote under that. I just noticed. I wrote I wrote like Tom and the woman Verna. They're like, most of the dialogue I was okay with, but like specifically those two, their dialogue sounds like they're reading from a book. Like it's too perfect. Like there's a part where like Tom's response is like, oh, if I can't even remember something about so, what does he say? I would have quoted the Song of Solomon or something. Like it's
yeah.
like it's just so unnatural. It's like it's just like clear. Like a lot of the dialogue I thought was okay, but like those two specifically, it's like this seems like it's just too perfect.
Yeah.
Like people don't speak to each other this way. Like
Yeah.
and a lot of the rest of it seemed okay. But yeah, all right. So I guess I'll wrap up how I felt about the movie.
I was going to say,
day,
wait. I was going to say one more thing. The scene where he goes into the women's dressing room or whatever at the club, and
that's my favorite scene of this whole movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird, but okay. And he throws the thing at the mirror and breaks it.
Uh-huh.
That one also, that's when he breaks it, you see the mirror, and then the next scene when she's standing there and you see the mirror behind her.
Oh yeah, it's not the same.
So busted, way more than
completely different.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy, totally missed that one.
I noticed that, yeah, the first time I watched it too.
Yeah.
I was like, huh, that's not. Yeah, I like that. I like that whole exchange between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't write it down, but he says something about like, oh yeah, that's part of my thing. I like to intimidate helpless women. Or something. That's not the exact quote, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first day, I was interested, very excited to watch this movie, and then I was like, wow, I'm not sure why I liked that movie.
Uh-huh.
Now I've got to watch it fucking 4 more times.
Uh-huh.
The second day, like, so also, yeah, I guess I forgot to say, like, I was trying to be super strict. Like, I watched the movie at almost, not exactly, like, I tried to watch the movie at the same time every day. I wasn't like looking at my phone. I wasn't eating. I wasn't looking at the internet. I was just watching the movie.
Yeah.
Every time. Like I had my Google Docs thing so I could make notes, but that was it. Like I was trying to be pretty focused on it. But yeah, so like the first day.
By the way, that's going to be impossible for me probably.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If the only reason I could do that is because I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so. Yeah, like I didn't like pause the movie and then go away for hours and then come back to it. Like I watched it straight through every day at the same time, which yeah will probably never happen again. But yeah, so yeah, the first day I was not super. I was pretty excited. Like I wonder what this movie's like. Pretty. I'm not saying disappointed. I was pretty surprised. I was like, huh. Oh! I forgot. Yeah, I guess I should say. I said before in the first episode of this that there was a scene that I thought I knew.
Yeah.
Right. So the scene was the walking out into the forest, the John Turturro thing. I thought that was the end of the movie, and I thought that was the main character being walked out to get killed.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So when that happened, like halfway through, I was like, oh, huh, all right, yes.
Yeah, like I said, I thought John Turturro did a real good job in that scene, but I did not like the Tom's part in that scene was terrible.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
like I remember
Tom, the main character. I don't know his actor's name. I've seen him in other things for sure.
I don't know.
But yeah, I didn't particularly like his his performance. But yes, I was excited the first day. Probably more excited the second day just to see, like, what's it going to be like to watch this again?
Yeah.
And even the third day, I was like, all right, yeah. Like at the beginning of the third day, I was like, yeah, what's it going to be like to watch this again? At the end of the third day, I was like, fuck, I have to watch this 2 more times.
That's good. I can't wait for
Fuck. I don't. I was like, God damn it. And then I watched the fourth day was, it's like, yep, I'm going to do this. Yep, fine. And like I was focused even in, so yeah, I watched it earlier today.
Yeah.
Fifth day was the most difficult.
I bet.
I had the hardest time like staying focused, and like I probably had the least amount of notes on the fifth day. Like it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, fine. I guess I should probably look at these. Oh yeah. Also, every day I read through everything I had written before. Every time I watched it. But yeah. So at the end, I still like it. I liked the movie. I'm kind of shocked that I liked it as a high school kid.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really in it. If I try to remember back to being a high school kid, I don't know why I like this movie so much, but I thought I did. But yeah, I still liked it now. I'm not saying it's 5 out of 5, but
yeah,
I am happy to have those 2 hours back.
I only started making notes at the midway point. I thought, okay, I'll just sit down and watch it. And, you know, I wasn't super duper critical. I just went off of my gut for the first half, right? Like
Sure.
even the very beginning, because like I said, I can't sit down for 2 hours during the day at all. And if I'm watching at night, it's maybe possible, but most of the time I got other shit I need to do. And so I was hanging laundry during the first scene, so I kind of didn't clearly catch all of it. But then after that, I mostly watched it. I watched it, and mostly sat down and watched it. But yeah, I don't know. After like the first half, I was just like, I'm not enjoying this at all. And I just,
no. I can understand that.
Yeah, and then I started making notes, and you know, then I was even more critical about specific things. But like the first half of it, I just went straight off gut. I was just like, meh, I don't know. I would if I wanted to get a period piece about gangsters, I would, you know, because in my mind I was comparing it to things like Chinatown and like The Godfather.
Yes.
The Godfather is one of my favorites.
Chinatown's a good comparison.
Yeah. Or even what's the one? Not Hollywood Boulevard. What's it called?
Mulholland Drive.
There it is. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Well. Yeah. We're back to Lynch again, but or no, is Mulholland Drive? No, it's not Lynch, is it?
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't know. Yeah, Mulholland Drive is crazy.
So I would rather watch any one of those 5 times than watch.
It has, so yeah, I guess
Miller's Crossing again.
I'm done with Miller's Crossing. Well, I'm done talking about Miller's Crossing in specific, but yeah, the overall experience was fun. It's crazy to watch a movie 5 times in a row like that.
And you didn't watch at all with anybody else ever, right?
What?
You didn't watch with another person at all?
No, yeah, I tried. Yeah, like I said, I kept everything the same. So like, yeah, I was the only one home when I watched it.
See, because I'm thinking about maybe you know, no plans in the calendar or anything like that, but getting also to watch with me one time, maybe, just because a lot of times when we watch movies, you know, she'll always ask questions about who's that or what's that happening. It's like the first time I've seen it, I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. But if I were to sit down and watch, you know, 3 times,
Oh,
and then
if you watch it 5 times in a row, you do know. Like I have 2.5 pages of notes.
See, but if I sat down and like the 4th time I'm watching it, then I can answer her questions, and then in my mind come up with those answers. And
I would say if you're gonna bring someone in, bring them in on the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found the 5th one the hardest to keep my concentration on the movie and like watching, because like you fucking know what's going, like you know, like the next like 3 scenes and like you know what's gonna happen. You can practically say the lines because you've seen it every damn day.
Sure.
Yeah, like I found today the hardest to watch. Well, not the hardest to watch, the hardest to stay focused on the movie. Like my mind for sure wandered the most.
So that's Miller's Crossing. We're gonna wrap it up there unless you got anything else to say. I want to start playing some video games.
Me too. So what are we doing? Thumbs up, thumbs down? 5 out of 20.
I think somebody else has got the trademark on thumbs up and thumbs down. We can do.
I would give that movie. I would give Miller's Crossing 3/4 of a pint.
I'll give it. I drank 3/4 of this. That's very slow because it's been an hour.
Yeah.
But that means we were talking. So it was interesting, at least. And like I said, you know,
you need to say what's next.
Yes. Oh, I know. I'm just saying we need to wrap it up.
Yes.
So if there's anything else you want to say about the movie, go ahead. Otherwise, yeah, give our rating. You give it 3/4 of a pint. I will give it a haposhu.
Oof. That's rough.
Yeah, in a pinch I'll drink it, but I don't want to.
I like this scale though. I like the scale we're working with. 3/4 of a pint, and haposhu is definitely below that somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good.
It's at least it's not dice on no beer or dice on no whatever it's called.
Yes.
So my movie is one that I've always wanted to see. I've never seen, and it stars one of my favorite actors of all time.
Oh boy, you're going with a movie you've never seen. Wow.
Yes, but it's a movie that's widely regarded as one of the greatest movies ever made.
Ooh, okay.
It was released in 1941, and it's a movie that I mentioned when we were, I can't remember if it was when we were kicking around the idea for this, or even I might have mentioned it last week when I was trying to guess what your movie was.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think. Oh, God. The year's not going to help. None of the actors are going to help. You mentioned it. Well, maybe the actors help. I don't know.
Did I say the year? I said the year, right?
You said 41. That's not going to help. I have no idea. The Wizard of Oz was released in 1941.
I'll give you another hint. It stars an actor that is the lead actor of my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, that's right. Your favorite movie of all time is Bad Boys 2.
Yep. 1941, Will Smith and...
I have no idea who your favorite actor of all time is.
No. My favorite movie.
Or sorry, your favorite movie of all time.
One of my favorite actors.
1941. I have no idea. Citizen Kane.
No, I've already seen that.
Oh.
We talked about that.
Did we?
Yeah.
Good.
It was it was really interesting, that movie.
I've never seen Citizen Kane. Casablanca.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
That is your favorite movie. Okay. Who is in Casablanca? Humphrey Bogart is in Casablanca.
That's correct.
Is the only person I know that's in Casablanca.
Have you ever seen Casablanca?
Nope.
What? You should.
Oh, don't worry. There's a couple movies on my movies I've never seen list for this thing that you'll probably be surprised that I've never seen.
That movie, doesn't matter. You should watch that movie. Movie's great.
Humphrey Bogart in 1941 was in.
You've got 12 seconds. 11. 10.
Was in. I can't even remember the movie. Like you said, like you mentioned
7,
this, I have no idea.
6, 5, 4.
Gone with the Wind. I know that's not 1941.
2.
I'm just trying to think of old movies. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
The movie I am going to watch 5 times, and the movie that you are going to watch once is The Maltese Falcon.
Oh, fuck. Yes, that's right. You did say Maltese Falcon.
That's right.
You said it more than once to me.
I did. I think I said it both last week and
yes.
when we were
You said it last week, and you said it when we were talking about it on Skype.
That's why I've chosen it.
Maltese Falcon. All right, I've never seen that. I don't know anything about it. I know one thing about it.
What's that?
It has Humphrey Bogart, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know. I think it's based on a book.
I think so.
The Maltese Falcon was a book before it was a movie. But I could be wrong.
I think that's correct. And I think, actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say it's the origin of the concept of the MacGuffin.
Oh, really?
I might be totally wrong. It might be. But it has something to do with that. We'll find out when I watch it a bunch of times.
We will.
All right. That's it for episode 2 of season 3. Oh, by the way, we were driving in the car the other day, and on the way to Hoykoem, and Home by 8, Drunk by 10, like episode 21 or something, just came up randomly. And
okay.
It was the one where you were the guest, and it was before I came to visit one time, and we were talking about what our plans were and stuff. And I was recording you through the speakers, and it was just awful, awful, awful sound. But MJ wouldn't let me skip it. So I ended up listening to the whole thing on the way to school.
Oh, good.
And then the next song that came up randomly was Home by 8, or not Home by 8, was No Airplay Volume 1. So I listened to part of that too, and it was awful. And I called Home by 8, Drunk by 10 on it. I called it Home by 10, Drunk by 8.
Nice.
And I think that, I don't know, was that the original title? It couldn't be, right? We started Home by 8, Drunk by 10 before I started No Airplay podcast, right?
Yes, we started that before you did the No Airplay.
Okay, so I must have just...
And Home by 8, Drunk by 10 wasn't even like a title suggestion. I just said that.
Yeah.
I was like, I just said like, oh, I'm going to be home by 8, so I'll be drunk by 10.
That's right. Patrick Swayze only knows what I could have been.
Like, yeah, like it was just like we were going to record that night, and I was on my way home from work. I said, I'll be home by 8, drunk by 10.
Yep, that's the origin.
This is stupid.
Yep. All right, well, let's see.
Maltese Falcon. All right.
Maltese Falcon. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to happen next
Is
week.
there? Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
Is there more than one version of the Maltese Falcon?
Yes. I'm talking about the 1941 version.
Okay, but there is more than one version.
There's another version, I think it came out in 31. It is not as famous, not as popular. As far
We're
as I
talking
know.
about 1941 Maltese Falcon. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, we need to play games.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, so it may happen next week, may not happen for a couple weeks. We'll see.
All right.
Peace.
What is that? Bye.
Bye.